In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on November 24, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. Buffalo Bills versus Detroit Lions. The Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions will face off inside of Ford Field on Thursday afternoon in some Week 12 action. The Bills are second in the AFC East with a 7-3 record so far and are coming off a 31-23 home win in Detroit against the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. The Lions are second in the NFC North with a 4-6 record so far this season and are on a 3-game winning streak after a 31-18 road win on Sunday against the New York Giants. The Bills are 12-5-1 against the spread in their last 18 games in November and 6-1-1 against the spread versus a team with a losing record. The Lions are 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 home games and 13-6 against the spread in their last 19 games overall. The under is 6-2 in Bills' last 8 games overall. The over is 9-3 in Lions' last 12 games overall. The underdog is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. If this game was taking place a few weeks ago, I probably would shy away from the Lions. But ever since that game at the Jets, Josh Allen just doesn't look the same and making the Bills mere mortals. In the last 3 games, Allen is 16th in completion percentage over expected and 17th in expected points added per drop back out of 29 quarterbacks. There is something that is just a bit off for that offense. It's still obviously very good, but I think as bad as the Lions' defense has played, they should be able to get off the field just enough to cover this game. In fact, this Lions defense has held 3 straight opposing quarterbacks to post dropback expected points added numbers below their season average. This Lions offense is finally getting healthy, and with St. Brown and Swift essentially at 100%. To go with the return of DJ Chark this past week, the Lions have enough weapons to compete. And where the Lions clearly have an advantage is in the run game and with their stellar OL against the small Bills defensive front. The Buffalo defensive line is built to rush the passer, not defend the run. So whenever they have to face a really good run game like the Lions, the Bills struggle to defend. Although the Bills did a nice job by stacking the box and doing everything they could to slow down the Browns' run game. Since Week 8, the Bills' run defense ranks 29th against the run, allowing a 48.6% success rate. After not allowing a single run offense to produce more than 2.9 yards before contact per rush in the first 6 games, they've allowed 3 of the last 4 offenses to produce over 3 yards before contact per rush. The Lions can bully smaller defenses at times, and after coming off an impressive 4.1 YBC rush against the Giants, are now a top 5 offense in that regard and the best run offensive line the Bills will have faced. If we look to an apples-to-apples comparison with this spread, the Lions were just 3.5-point home underdogs to the Miami Dolphins just 3 weeks ago. There is no way anyone would say that the Dolphins are 5.5 points worse than Buffalo, which is what this line is implying. I believe that this line should be right around 7.5, but because the books want to protect from a Buffalo-Dallas teaser, which will be very popular on Thanksgiving, we are seeing this number trickle up through 8.5 to the 9 number. Therefore, there is a good 1.5 point of value here in my opinion. And there is no team you'd rather have in a backdoor situation, if you need it, than the Lions. Since Dan Campbell took over last year, the Lions are 4-0 against the spread as home underdog of 7 or more points, winning 2 of those games. Even further, the Lions are 8-3 against the spread as home underdogs of at least 3 points. The Buffalo Bills are going to be clear favorites because they're the better team, and they were just at Ford Field last week, so they know the field and have fans who already traveled. However, the Detroit Lions have quietly won 3 straight games, and while the defense has issues, they're still a top 10 offense that can make things hairy for opponents. The Lions play hard and are a lot more competitive than their record would suggest. The Bills have shown some holes in the last few games, and their defense hasn't been as lights out. The Bills gave up 23 points in the last game, and this Lions offense is clearly strong. This is a lot of points for a quick turnaround, and you're giving a quality offense more than a touchdown. Look for another big game from Jared Goff, and that is going to be the difference as Detroit keeps this game close. So the Detroit Lions to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Neither defense has been scoring enough points to really be a factor in this and push a lot of points, as Buffalo is scoring 26 points in their previous 4 games, while Detroit is averaging 26 points in their last 3 games. Both teams have been doing well, but not enough to almost expect a point per game, while the Lions are converting on 40.68% of their third down attempts, while the Bills are converting on exactly 50% of third down tries. This is an extremely high total by the standards of the 2022 season, even for these explosive offenses. But what should keep Detroit in this game in its ground attack? The Lions should see success running the football, which in turn will shorten the game and limit the amount of possessions Josh Allen and this Bills offense get against a pretty awful Detroit defensive unit. Games have typically not exceeding 54 points this season, even when they involve these teams. Games involving the Lions have gone under this total in 5 of their 10 contests, while the Bills have gone under this number in 9 of their 10 games. The under has hit in each of their previous 5 games against one another. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. New York Giants versus Dallas Cowboys. In a surprisingly intense NFC East showdown, the New York Giants will be taking on the Dallas Cowboys today. This matchup has serious playoff implications for both teams, which I did not think I would be saying at this point in the season. The Giants are currently 7-3, but they have lost their past 2 of 3 games. On the other side, the Dallas Cowboys are also 7-3, and they have won their last 3 of 4 games. New York is 8-3 against the spread in their last, the 11th of November games, and 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games. The under is 4-1 in New York's last 5 road games. Dallas is 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 home games and 2-5 against the spread in their last, the 7th of November games. The under is 6-1 in Dallas' last 7 home games. The over is 10-3 in these 2 teams' last 13 head-to-head meetings in Dallas. It seems terrifying on paper, but this is the situation where you want to back the New York Giants. Situationally, the Cowboys are fresh off a dominant performance in a win over the Vikings, while the Giants were embarrassed on their home field against the Lions. Backing a team to bounce back after not covering in the previous week, while simultaneously fading a team that covered by a massive margin, is a consistent angle that has been profitable for years now in the NFL. Take no exception this week in this NFC East matchup. This is a team that isn't all that strong as a favorite, but thrives in the underdog role. It all starts with their quarterback. Daniel Jones is 14-5 against the spread as a road underdog in his career, as he's consistently played better away from MetLife Stadium throughout his tenure in New York. New York's running game has been the engine behind its offense, which will come into play against a Cowboys defense that is ranked 26th in opponent yards per carry and 24th in rush yards allowed this season. Dallas can get after the quarterback with its terrific pass rush, but this Giants passing game emphasizes getting the ball out of Jones' hands quickly anyway, so that should neutralize some of the effectiveness of Micah Parsons and company. The standards and intensity are much higher between divisional opponents, and teams tend to push themselves much more, as evidenced by the Redskins versus Eagles game on the 14th of November. The Giants are effective in rushing the ball, and as long as they don't let the game slip away early, they can keep the ground game going and control the tempo to keep the ball away from Dak Prescott's hands. The Giants are 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 games after accumulating more than 350 yards in their previous game, and 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 overall. The Cowboys, meanwhile, are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 after scoring more than 30 points in their previous contest, and 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 November games. In a divisional matchup with a relatively low total, it's hard not to take the points with New York. While I believe the Dallas Cowboys will likely win this game, I expect the New York Giants to keep this game close, so the Dallas Cowboys to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. I don't expect a blowout as the Cowboys handed to the Vikings on Sunday, and I expect both sides to play effective defense. The defense of the Cowboys has been solid all year, and the Giants have stepped up on the defensive end when they have needed to. It is difficult to play on Sunday and get yourselves ready and prepared for another game on Thursday, so I expect a sloppier game than normal as well. If the Giants run the ball as well as I believe they will, more time will go off the clock and there will be fewer opportunities to score within the 60 minutes. The under is hitting at a 74% clip in games involving the Giants since the start of the 2020 season, making New York the most profitable team to the under in the NFL over the last 3 seasons. The Cowboys should feature plenty of Tony Pollard out of the backfield in this game, especially since the Giants' run defense is near the bottom of the league in yards per carry allowed. The Cowboys have hit the under in 6 of their last 7 home games and 7 of their last 8 after accumulating more than 250 yards passing in their previous game. The New York Giants have hit the under in 8 of their last 9 games played in November, 7 consecutive games on Week 12, and have a 6-0-1 record on the under after allowing more than 30 points in their previous game. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. New England Patriots versus Minnesota Vikings. The New England Patriots will try to extend their 3-game winning streak when they face the Minnesota Vikings on Thanksgiving. New England got past the Jets on Sunday, extending its winning streak and moving to 6-4 overall this year. Minnesota is hoping to bounce back from one of the worst performances in franchise history, getting blown out by Dallas in a 40-3 final. New England is 3-0-1 against the spread in their last 4 road games and 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games overall, while the under is 7-2 in their last 9 games in November. Minnesota is 3-1 against the spread in their last 5 games overall and 45-21 against the spread in their last 66 games following a loss, while the over is 6-0 in their last 6 games following a double-digit loss at home. Minnesota was a team I overestimated before their dismal performance against Dallas, but they were worse than anyone could have imagined. The Viking stats have actually outperformed this entire season, so it does not match the record. Many bettors look at the records of these teams and favor Minnesota, but that may not be the smart thing to do here. I get the case to be made for the Vikings in this game, as they'll be eager to get the bad taste out of their mouths from the loss to the Cowboys. However, this game is setting us up for primetime Kirk Cousins, and that's not a good thing, as Cousins has struggled under the lights his entire career. New England's not the flashiest offense as we saw against the Jets, but the defense keeps finding ways to get the job done, and I think they can find a way to keep this game reasonably close and potentially win it outright. The Patriots have quietly played very solid football, covering the span in 6 of their last 7 games. They have a much better defense, and they have 5 straight wins between these teams. So the New England Patriots to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. This is the highest total of a Patriots game since Week 6, when it was set at 43.5 against the Browns. The last 3 New England games ended with 39, 29, and 13 points, and that's because of the combination of their poor offense and excellent defense. In those 3 games for the Patriots, Mac Jones and the offense have scored 2 touchdowns. It's been a pathetic showing for them on offense, and it's been their defense that has kept them in so many games. On Sunday, the Patriots didn't score a touchdown until the last few seconds of the 4th quarter, while the Vikings did not score a touchdown for the entirety of their game against the Cowboys. With both teams coming from abysmal offensive outings, I don't expect them to perform in a way that shoots the score up. In addition, both teams have some defensive weapons that are going to be challenging to play against. New England has the season sack leader with Judon, so he will pose a huge threat to Cousins. The Vikings have Smith, who has 9.5 sacks and will be a considerable threat to Jones in the pocket. I expect this game to be a defensive battle, considering each team is struggling with the offense. These 2 teams have only 3 days of rest before this primetime game, and if trends mean anything, scoring should be scarce. The under is 17-8 in the last 25 Thanksgiving games and 7-0 in the last 7 Thanksgiving night games. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.